Today's story is one that has shaken investigators, prosecutors, and an entire community in Michigan, not because of how sudden it was, but because of how calculated it appears to have been. A young woman, heavily pregnant and just days away from giving birth, vanished after visiting her own mother. What police uncovered weeks later would be described in court as evil personified, a case involving family betrayal, alleged premeditated torture, and a crime so disturbing that even veteran law enforcement officers struggled to process it. You are watching CrimeScope with Sam. Kindly subscribe to the channel. Like the video to help it reach more people. And comment below. This is the case of 22-year-old Rebecca Park. Rebecca was reported missing on the night of November 3rd. She was 3 days away from her due date. Family members said she had plans, she had hope, and she was preparing for the birth of her child. Instead, investigators say she was lured into a deadly trap set by the very people she should have been safest with. Weeks later, her body was found hidden beneath leaves in a wooded area. Her unborn baby was gone. According to court documents, the person accused of cutting that baby from her womb was Rebecca's own biological mother. Rebecca Park was last seen alive late on the night of November 3rd after visiting her mother, Cortney Bartholomew, at her home in Michigan. At the time, Rebecca was in the final stage of pregnancy, just days away from giving birth. When she didn't return home and stopped responding to messages, concern quickly turned into alarm. A missing person investigation was launched. Family members were questioned. Friends were interviewed. Police retraced Rebecca's movements in the hours before she disappeared. Early in the investigation, Cortney Bartholomew denied knowing what had happened to her daughter. But according to investigators, cell phone data would soon contradict that claim. Records allegedly placed Cortney at the location where Rebecca's body would later be discovered on the same night Rebecca vanished. Confronted with that evidence, Cortney's story changed. What followed, according to prosecutors, was a confession that revealed a level of brutality rarely seen, even in homicide cases. Court affidavits allege that Cortney Bartholomew admitted to cutting her unborn grandchild out of Rebecca's womb using a scalpel. Investigators say Rebecca was still conscious when it happened. According to the affidavit, Cortney claimed her husband, Bradley Bartholomew, held a knife to Rebecca's throat during the attack. The documents allege that Rebecca was restrained, helpless, and aware of what was being done to her. The unborn baby was not breathing when it was removed. Investigators say the remains were placed into a cooler, then sealed in a trash bag, and later thrown into a dumpster. Rebecca's body was allegedly transported to a wooded area, pushed down an embankment, and covered with leaves in an attempt to conceal it. Her remains were discovered nearly 3 weeks later on November 25th. By then, the investigation had shifted from a missing persons case to a homicide. Prosecutors say this was not a spontaneous act of violence. They say it was planned. Court records indicate that Cortney Bartholomew lured Rebecca to her home by showing her a photograph of what she claimed was an $18,000 inheritance check. Investigators believe that image was used to convince Rebecca to visit that night. Text messages recovered by police show Cortney telling relatives that she had recently given birth and that the baby was in neonatal intensive care, messages sent before Rebecca's body was found. Later texts claimed the baby had died. Authorities now believe those messages were part of an elaborate cover story. Investigators say the couple conducted research, created a plan, and acted with intent. One of the most disturbing allegations in the case involves the identity of the unborn baby's father. According to the affidavit, Cortney Bartholomew claimed that her husband, Bradley Bartholomew, was the father of Rebecca's child. Bradley Bartholomew is a registered sex offender. Court records show that his status prevented the couple from adopting children. Prosecutors allege that the desire to obtain a child, combined with personal grievances and relationship conflicts, played a role in the motive behind the crime. Cortney allegedly told investigators that she intended to give the baby to Rebecca's fiancé, Richard Fowler. However, documents also reveal a tangled web of relationships. Cortney reportedly had a brief romantic relationship with Fowler in the past and wanted to leave her husband for him. Fowler later reconciled with Rebecca. Rebecca's sister, Kimberly Park, was also allegedly involved with Fowler at one point. Investigators say jealousy, resentment, and retaliation may have fueled the violence. According to prosecutors, Cortney Bartholomew allegedly murdered Rebecca as retaliation against Fowler, who had reportedly contacted authorities regarding a violation of Cortney's sex offender conditions. Court records show Cortney had previously received a 180-day sentence for an unspecified violation related to his registration status. Cortney allegedly told investigators that Cortney forced Rebecca into a vehicle, repeatedly stabbed her, and then allowed Cortney to carry out the act of cutting the unborn child from her womb. Cortney claimed she did not stab Rebecca, but admitted that the injuries caused by cutting her open would have been extremely difficult to survive. Investigators believe Rebecca may have still been alive after the attack when her body was abandoned. Rebecca's sister, Kimberly Park, has also been charged in connection with the case. Prosecutors allege she attempted to protect Richard Fowler by misleading investigators. Court documents say Kimberly falsely claimed Rebecca died from a seizure and that her body had been taken to a swamp. Kimberly is charged with evidence tampering, lying to police, and filing a false report. She is currently on house arrest after her bail was reduced. At a court hearing, Wexford County Prosecutor Johanna Carey described the crime as evil personified. She said the case involved premeditated torture and murder, alleging the suspects conducted research, coordinated their actions, and executed a plan designed to end Rebecca's life and take her unborn child. Cortney Bartholomew and Cortney Bartholomew are now charged with first-degree murder, felony murder, torture, conspiracy to commit torture, assault on a pregnant individual causing miscarriage or stillbirth, conspiracy to commit assault on a pregnant individual, unlawful imprisonment, removal of a dead body. Each of those charges carries a potential life sentence. Both remain held without bond at the Wexford County Jail. Public defenders representing the defendants have not commented publicly on the allegations. The investigation remains ongoing. Rebecca Park was 22 years old. She was weeks away from becoming a mother. Instead, prosecutors say she became the victim of one of the most disturbing crimes the county has ever seen, allegedly betrayed by the person who brought her into the world. As this case moves through the courts, investigators continue to analyze evidence, digital records, and witness statements. Justice, prosecutors say, will take time. But the facts already laid out in court paint a picture of a crime that was not impulsive, not accidental, and not random. It was planned. If you want continued coverage of cases like this, told clearly, factually, and without sensationalism, subscribe to the channel. Like this video to help it reach more people. And share your thoughts below. Should crimes involving this level of alleged premeditation ever allow parole? Thank you for watching.